Hey there, everybody. Storm Team Meteorologist Noah Bergen here with a tropical update for you. We do have a small area of watch potential from the National Hurricane Center here in this yellow. It's not probably going to develop. It's very unlikely to do anything. It's a disorganized area of showers and storms. If anything, it's a reminder to you how warm the water is in the Atlantic and the Caribbean, which again is the hottest it's ever been through this point. There is where the center of the disorganized showers and storms are, and it will pass into that yellow area over the next few days. You can see the clouds there before the sunset. It's a very disorganized area of activity. Here's the water vapor imagery tonight. Now, a couple of things to point out. This is really what's left over of a front that came through Florida several days ago. And the arrows on here are at 20,000 feet. So you're looking at the wind aloft. And notice here from Orlando and Miami, the winds curl south. Then they go into this U over Haiti. So that's the trough right here, and then like that. And then you see all the showers and storms on the east side over here from Haiti, Dominican Republic, over towards Puerto Rico. And this is going to drift towards Bermuda over the weekend. In all likelihood, it will remain non-tropical, but again, as you saw, there's a small 10% chance it could briefly attain tropical characteristics and become a tropical depression. Before it does that, it would have to attain a center of circulation, which it currently does not have near the surface of the Earth. It's all aloft right now. Here is our Fox model. You can see this pulls away, going towards Bermuda. There it is right here. It kind of resembles a little tropical something, but it, again, in all likelihood, will remain non-tropical. A big rain producer, especially for Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, and Haiti, where they've already had several inches of rain the last few days. And then by Sunday, this is already east of Bermuda. You see it right here. Then tracking quickly out into the North Atlantic. Other news recently, we got this in on Thursday. NOAA, NOAA, put out their hurricane outlook for the year. 17 to 25 named storms. That's what they're calling for. Between 8 and 13 hurricanes, 4 to 7 majors, and an 85% chance of an above average season. For perspective, the average 14 named storms, 7 hurricanes historically, and 3 majors. So you can see potentially we could have more than double the amount of major hurricanes and up to double the amount of hurricanes this hurricane season, which for the May outlook from NOAA, this is the most active forecast they have ever put out since they've been making seasonal forecasts. A couple of key factors for you going into this hurricane season. I'm sure you've heard about these at least briefly at some point, but if you haven't, here's the recap for you. The main driver, now while there are wind impacts upstairs in the atmosphere to tropical systems, the biggest thing that drives tropical activity is the temperature of the ocean. In this year, we've got the hottest ocean temperatures ever recorded in the Gulf of Mexico, the Caribbean, and the Atlantic. And the period of record goes back since the late 1800s. It's something we call the ocean heat content, which tells us how much energy is in the ocean surface for tropical systems. 2024 is so above even the next closest, which in the Atlantic was coincidentally last year. Here's the storm names for this year. Reminder, Alberto, Beryl, then Chris, the first names up. And in any given year, 3 names to look for on the list: the I, the J, the K named storms, because they often coincide with the peak season when the storms can get their strongest, and ones that often get retired and make landfall. Just think historically Katrina, Ian, an I named storm. This year, the IJK storms are Isaac, Joyce, and Kirk. If I had to put my money on it, I'd say one of those this year, hopefully not all of them, but at least one of those will probably end up being a pretty big storm. All right, a couple of analogs for you. In analog in meteorology means that something, in terms of, in this case, previously that happened that resembles this year. So using all of the ingredients that are currently out there, looking back through history at what happened when we were similar to this year, there's really only like 2 years that are really close, worth mentioning. 2005 had Rita, Wilma, Katrina, and Emily, notable storms. It had 31 total systems and 15 hurricanes. 2020 had even more. In fact, we went into the Greek alphabet, which, if you remember, we had up to Iota, Eta, and Delta. Notable hurricanes that year, we had Category 4s and Laura and Teddy, and then again through Delta, Eta, and Iota, and 14 hurricanes, 7 majors, in 2020. Something we will be monitoring for you as we flip the calendar into June is the potential for any development. While most years, even in hyperactive years, if this does end up becoming like the forecast calls for, even in hyperactive years, June doesn't have a lot of activity. But if we were to get tropical activity, historically 98% of the storms that have formed in June have been in this yellow area, which is across the Gulf, the Caribbean, then up the eastern seaboard. Rest assured, myself and the entire Fox 35 storm team will be here to get you through this hurricane season once it does start. But again, the latest update today, that small system out in the Atlantic, which probably won't develop, and the NOAA folks releasing their forecast today calling for the most active season on record. Hopefully we don't have anything soon, but again, stay with us here as we go through this season. We'll have updates on air and online.